We are back with a draft of the Breya Cube. James, do you want to talk people through the Breya Cube real quick? Give them the old 90-second introduction.
Sure. So Breya Cube is inspired by my favorite card, Breya Ethereum Shaper. So what it's really trying to do is
Not play green cards.
Yeah, not play green cards. No green pips, no forests. Get it out of here. I don't want it. It's high density of artifacts and enchantments, as well as trying to push the amount of reasons you'd want to sacrifice or discard your own cards for things like cycling or madness payoffs, things like that. It's really looking for, in terms of like card selection, things that are doing more than one of those things. So for example, like Voldaren Epicure is like the fact that it creates a blood token. So it creates an artifact that sacks to discard a card means that multiple different drafters might want it. So I'm really looking for like a high density of cards that are doing multiple of one of those four things to try and create games that have a lot of like interesting interactions that you might not necessarily know whenever you were initially building the deck, or you might see some fun lines in the draft itself. So
cool interactions like turn 1 Dark Confidant.
right.
Turn 2 Ranger Captain Evios, that
I
kind
mean,
of stuff.
it felt great.
I can't imagine that happening.
So Anthony's off screen running the stream. My draft was a little bit rough. We drafted these decks in a full pod online. If you could switch to my top-down view, Anthony, player one view. So I like my spells. I think my spells are good. What I don't like is the mana I have to cast them. It was a situation where I ended pack 2. I was like pretty firmly in like Grixis and just hoping there'd be a lot of lands in pack 3, and they just weren't there. I didn't like miss any opportunities to eat my vegetables. This would be a good lesson in why your mana base is really important. So I'm kind of a control deck. I say kind of because it doesn't have all the elements I want in a normal control deck. I'm very light on win conditions. We're trying to win the game with Kess, Curator of Mysteries, Brazen Barb, or Shark Typhoon, basically. Got a lot of interaction, tons of counter spells, tons of burn, tons of removal, some hand hate, all that kind of stuff. But I'm also playing some cards I wouldn't ideally like to be playing, like Scrabbling Claws, Talisman of Dominance, and Coalition Relic, because my mana is really bad. And Scrabbling Claws at least cycles for generic mana, so no matter what lands I have, I can at least cycle Scrabbling Claws if I need to. The Talisman and the Relic help me fix my mana, so yeah, we have Thoughtseize and Dreams of Steel and Oil and 6 black sources. So do we get to do that turn 1 very often? No, probably not. But we'll make the best with what we have here, and maybe we'll steal a couple games if we can draw well. I'm going to call my deck Grixis, Wing, and a Prayer.
I like it. Okay, and I'm doing a Orzhov Enchantments deck, so I'm trying to leverage Ephemia the Cacophony as well as Archon of Sun's Grace for like interesting things to do with the enchantments that I can get. And I'm also splashing blue to play Zur the Enchanter. So this is the only blue card in my deck, but it really kind of is acting as like a toolbox creature that hopefully I can get a removal spell, or if I need more threats, I can go get Ephemia or like Bitter Blossom. And I'm really hoping to kind of like play this like tempo aggro-ish game plan that I can put my opponent on the back foot, but still have through my synergies a way to kind of like curve out into the late game and like hang there.
How many blue sources are you playing Zur on?
So I am playing the 1 Chromatic Star, a Flooded Strand, and 1 Island, which is not a lot. So it's also a prayer. But I've got this Urza Saga that I can go get Chromatic Star with. So I've kind of got 3-ish sources of blue mana.
Also, to be clear, you don't need to cast Zur for the deck to function, whereas I do need to cast some of my spells for my deck to do something.
Yeah. So
are you still going with Wet Orzhov? Do you want to update your deck name?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay. How about
I guess I shouldn't have had you clear that one. I mean, I still think that like ambitious Zur or something. It's really like kind of a black-white aggro deck, honestly.
Yes.
With like Zur as a treat.
Yes, Zur is a little treat.
A little treat, just to make it seem like you're doing something weird when actually you're just beating their face in with black-white aggro cards.
Yeah.
How about Toolbox Enchantments?
All right, I'll let you get away with this one.
All right.
Actually, call Wet Orzhov again, just because people might be watching both.
That's fair.
Might be watching both videos.
Right.
I don't want them to think the deck is different.
Thank you, Heavenly Evan, for the suggestion.
So we're going with Wet Orzhov, unfortunately. That's locked in. All right,
Love
James. Do you want evens or odds?
I'll take odds. All right.
Ooh, evens. I will take the play.
Get that out of here.
We'll talk about mulligan decisions, and then we will get to some games.
Opie was asking about how it feels, like how much you notice that green is missing from a cube like this. I feel like you just don't actually notice it that much because when you're playing games, maybe you notice in the draft more than during.
I mean, you notice, but like
gameplay.
every element of Magic is still present.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, I think honestly one of the things that happens here is that I think artifacts can shine a little more because green tends to be the most predatory towards artifacts, with white in close second. But you obviously could build a cube that had green but didn't have the artifact removal stuff, but that would feel maybe like something was missing if you had a bunch of artifacts and very few reclamation sages or whatever. Right. But here with that just out of the picture, it's like, well, okay, my Grixis opponent probably, he can have some shatters, I guess, but it does change the viability of, I think, different card types slightly, but really it just feels like Magic. I don't think it's a whole lot different.
There is like a higher density of artifact and enchantment removal, and kind of the hope is that you can like leverage that as just a straight up removal spell. Most board states will have something that is like relevant to target, and then, you know, one of green's like characteristic things that they tend to do is like ramp, but you can easily also just facilitate that in the colorless section, which I've tried to do as well. So there is
a lot
like,
of mana rocks in here. Yeah,
there's quite a few mana rocks, as well as like hopefully some like colorless payoffs. So like Spaghetti Mom, what's her name? Emrakul, the Promised End, and like Sundering Titan and things like that. So the hope is
we're gonna lay out our opening hands, and we're not gonna look at each other's opening hands. We're just gonna do this. I'm gonna play, and I am gonna keep this, chat. I would say that if my deck were different, I would definitely not keep this hand. But given how my deck is, which you just saw, I'll be keeping this hand.
So I'm going to keep this as well. It's a little sketchy. I'm really hoping I can leverage these two cards in a way that kind of makes it difficult for... just keeps me in the game long enough. I would not keep this on the play, but on the draw I feel a little bit more confident about it.
Are you ready, James?
I am.
Well, show me that hand. I'm going to Thoughts Easy on turn one.
Dang it. All right, you got these two swamps. And then some cards I can cast and some cards I cannot.
We got a Bitter Blossom, which I have no answer for once it's in play in my deck. I am playing Grixis. Dark Confidant, Machiko's Reign of Truth, Faithful Absinthe, Archon of Stone's Grace. This is the one that pumps for artifacts and enchantments in play,
it does.
And then,
and then it
end,
flips.
You flip it to a creature.
Correct.
Hi, King Zeke. You are correct. Cube.
Let's take Bitter Blossom. And then I will pass the turn. All right. At 18.
So these stay on the battlefield. I'll draw.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, all right, fair.
Well, cheaty face
so
swamps over
weird
there.
Thoughtseize variation.
You gotta try sometimes. All right, I'm gonna play this swamp and pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. Island and go.
What could that represent?
How are you playing without sunglasses with so many foils in front of you?
It's a beautiful cube. James is a man of distinction and taste.
It's, you know, COVID happens and you don't really have...
Not spending any money on restaurants or whatever.
Right. All right. I am going to go ahead and take one, go to 19. I'm going to play this Plains. So we did get there. I'm going to attempt to cast the Dark Confidant that you know about.
I'm going to censor it.
That's not fun.
James, look, this is the least I could do.
Yeah, no,
quite literally. At least we'll have some kind of game here. I'll draw. I'm going to play another island. I'm going to pass, but I'm going to stop you on your upkeep.
Okay.
Okay. And on your upkeep, I'm going to ice your swamp.
Okay.
And draw.
Okay. I'll draw for turn. I'll play a swamp. So I've got a choice in front of me. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should hold up mana or run out a card you already know about. But it's not great. But all right, we're just gonna run out the Michiko's Reign of Truth. It's obvious it's not gonna do a whole lot, but I don't think gonna get an opportunity to spend the mana I'd hold up. So I will play this and then pass to you.
All right, untap, draw. Play an island, pass the turn.
All right, draw for turn. Trigger. Gotcha. All right, I'll take 2.
It's a fine creature with suspend too, you know.
Yes, that is.
You are at 17 because you crack fetch land. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. And then I'm going to attempt to cast this Archon of Sun's Grace.
Archon is going to resolve.
Okay, pass turn.
On your end step, I will petty theft Archon of Sun's Grace.
Rude.
Send my Brazen Barber on an adventure. I'll put it on top of my deck, or right here, half of my graveyard. There we go. I'll remember it there. Then I'll go to my turn. I'll untap. I will draw. I'll play a Sulphurous Springs.
That's how I win. It's the only red spells.
Let me think, actually. Now I got too many choices. I don't like to have choices. You've got that Fateful Absence in your hand that I know about. Fateful Absence is an instant. Let's... pass the turn.
Okay. Draw. Trigger.
I'm trying really hard not to focus on the fact that this is streamed and just play the best game of Magic I can. Which, maybe not that good.
Okay.
And Machiko right now is just a 1/1. Power and toughness
Just a
equal to the number of
1/1.
enchantments and artifacts you control.
Correct.
All right.
All right, I'm going to play a Swamp. Does not have haste. So I'm going to throw out this Archon.
Yeah, that's a 3/4, correct?
Correct. Flying Lifelink.
Let me think about that for 1 second.
You got it.
Three, 4, huh? It's hard.
I have no idea. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can have that.
Thank you. I will pass the turn.
All right, on your end step. Take 1 from Sulphurous Springs, go to 17.
It's happening.
I'm going to cast Prismari Command.
Rude.
The modes are, I'm going to draw 2 discard. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to make a treasure token, and I'm going to deal 2 damage to Machiko.
Okay.
Got my treasure.
Truth did not reign long.
And then I will untap. I will draw. Play a mountain for turn.
Mm-hmm. Well, there goes my Sulphurous Springs plan.
I'll play Kess Dissident Mage.
Rude.
And then I will take 1 off my Sulphurous Springs to Thoughtseize You.
Sure.
All right, we'll take Fateful
Yeah,
Absence.
that makes sense. Take 2?
Yes, I
Thoughtseize?
take 2, yeah. And a 1. So, yeah, 15 for me.
14.
14, yes, that's correct.
14, sir.
The number is correct, even though 14, sir. Then I will pass the turn.
Okay. Draw for turn. Interesting. Combat?
Mm-hmm.
Attack for 3.
No blocks.
Okay, take 3. I'll gain 3.
Oh, it's got lifelink.
It does.
I should have read the card. That would explain why you would attack into a otherwise just a bounce.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Got bluffed, chat. All right, I'll untap. I will draw. Oh, that's a bummer.
Eddie's favorite mechanic, lifelink.
I do love it. It's true. What is the look here? I know you have plenty of artifacts in your deck, so I don't want to just, like, spew my Prismari command for no reason. I think here's the line, I think. I'm going to flashback ice, targeting your Godless Shrine.
I'll make a white mana in response.
I will draw. I will attempt to move. Well, should I? I'll move out of the face. Go to combat. All right. So no more white mana. I'll attack for 3.
Ow.
Then second main phase, pay a black, cast a Bone Shards, discarding an Ash Barrens to destroy the Archon of Sun's Grace.
Womp womp.
Pass the turn.
All right. One card left in hand.
One card in hand.
All right, still think I got to do this. I'm going to throw out a Elspeth's Nightmare.
It's one of these modes. This makes me sax a creature, yeah?
No, you're thinking of Eldest Reborn. So
Okay.
first mode is going to fizzle,
Yep, okay, cool.
but I'm just looking to exile your graveyard, essentially.
Yeah, that's something.
Your Brazen Bar is still an adventure. You want to make that?
Yeah, I guess I should make that
clear.
more clear. I did put it in the graveyard, kind of, yeah. So I kind of mean
Adventure
completely, yeah.
And then I'm going to pass the turn. Yep.
Yeah, I will spend this treasure to flash my Brazen Borrower and be mad that I didn't tap different mana to do it, but whatever. In it comes. Then I will untap. Draw. Combat.
Mm-hmm.
Attack for 6.
Go to 11.
Play an island.
Are the 3 color cards easier to play when you cut
Actually, hold on a
green?
sec.
I think they're easier to take highly in the draft
Yeah,
because
I'll
you're
play that island.
more reliably going to be able to pick up the right fixing.
I don't know. Well, so the issue is
This only takes non-lands, right, from my hand?
correct. It's duress. So the
Okay.
thing that I've kind of noticed is that when you remove a color,
Hardcast a Shark
fixing
Typhoon.
has more opportunities to be relevant to drafters because there's just going to be more drafters in various 2-color pairs. So that's like a good question. Yeah, that resolves. I'm not excited about it.
I'll pass.
I
I think
love to
honestly,
see it.
Chad, I think maybe the right move is to still cycle it for a shark.
That's impossible.
I mean, if he just draws disenchant right now, then I got nothing off of it, as opposed to having a
We're going to draw a card.
token or a card at least.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is also on chapter 2, so I'm going to take a look at your hand. Wow, look at that island. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, you get love and admiration from the chat for playing Shark Typhoon, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a 2-for-1 right there.
That's all I want, baby, is that love and admiration.
Okay.
All right, now sideboard. Sideboard is very important in this deck, I think, because my main deck is not so good.
Yeah, I don't think that having fewer colors makes it easier to play those colors necessarily. I just think that in the draft, it's like I'll take them more highly early in the draft, I guess is what I would say, which I think does potentially lead to them being played more often.
All right, if you want to go to my camera, Anthony, I'm going to bring in these 2 cards against James because I know that this will have a lot of hits, and I know that this is also going to trigger a reasonable amount of time, and this also solves one of the big problems of my deck. I'm being a little coded in my language so as to not give away to James what I'm bringing in, but I think, chat, you're smart enough to figure out what I'm talking about. Pick up what I'm putting down. The cuts are, I think, going to be this, which was in there for reasons mentioned during the initial deck tech, which I didn't love. What's the next cut?
Just cut lands. Lands are fun.
I am on the draw, but also I need all my colors so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, just the things I'm thinking about cutting, just to put them up here. Maybe I shouldn't tell chat what I'm thinking of cutting. Then we'll know if I get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that first swap seems like it should just be main deck.
I'm not convinced.
Suggests.
I'm not convinced. I do think that in a lot of games I need to just get rid of this. All right, so this is going to go in. I'm going to cut.
So hard not looking at cards.
I know, yeah, don't peeky. No peeky. I'm going to cut this, chat. I'm going to be ambitious. I still like this because it lets me maybe do the same thing I did last time. I considered maybe getting rid of this because of
Can't even look at the
information
screen.
reasons. Yeah, you can't look at anything, James. Everywhere is
Right.
goblins. All right.
Check out your own sideboard over here.
That's my plan. We'll see how this goes.
Okay. So I'm taking out these more, I think, like, situational cards. I don't necessarily... One of the reasons I want this in my deck is to potentially leverage it against creatures, but I don't necessarily think there's a high density to warrant this. I think this is really situational for me to getting off to a good start, but with the amount of removal, I'm not too keen on it. And I don't think this is impactful enough for what I'm wanting to bring in, which is just something that's a little bit more recursive and... will help me grind with the various like duresses and thought seizes and removal spells. So that's my plan. We'll see if it pans out.
I predict the second to last card you were talking about was Machiko's Reign of Truth.
Don't think about it.
I mean, that game was all about me just making those sagas look bad, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
kind of blanking both sagas.
Yes.
Makes those real bad cards.
For sure.
Turn 1 Thoughtseize was essential for that. And as discussed, my deck cannot very often go Turn 1 Thoughtseize because I only have the 6 black sources.
Yeah, so you say that, but you're going to do it again.
Sometimes you do, you know?
Sometimes you're going to do
honestly, I'm way too conservative, I think. Well, not way too. I think I definitely tend too conservative with my mana bases. And I more often should maybe take one fewer land in a draft or splash something that I think is not reasonable to splash because, yeah, like sometimes you just have it, you know?
Yeah, sure.
I assume you're on the play.
Everybody wants you to get some kind of mask or helmet to cover your face. My first thought was a fencing helmet, but I kind of like the idea.
I do
of
have a
getting
sleeping
just
mask
like
upstairs. I can get a mask and wear.
Well, it'd be cool if you just got like one of those clear visors, like protective visor, splash visor, but then spray painted or something, so you can still see your own.
Just
cards.
spray painted.
Like...
I'm not looking on it. I'm not peeking.
Yeah, this was a draft that we did virtually, and
all
then
right, I'm gonna
built
keep
the
my
decks and
hand.
the cubes from. So it was a full 8-player pod.
I'm going to show your hand to chat first, James.
Okay.
What I think about
all
mine.
right. So it's close. This is intriguing in this matchup. I don't necessarily know if it's going to come out, but I've got a good breakdown of lands and spells. Really hoping for no turn 1 Thoughtseize. Let's make your mulligan decision a little easier there, Andy.
I'm already keeping, is what I
Okay,
decided.
well, I'm excited to do this.
I mean, is there any hand I'm going to throw back with a turn 1 Thoughtseize, James, you think? I can't imagine. Maybe if it's turn 1 Thoughtseize, I have no other lands, and the rest of my cards are all red, then maybe, but...
Right. Oh, not looking.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep my hand as well, chat. I think this is a little worse than last time, but we're in a pretty similar boat of, like, I got a thing to do, and I think that's the best my deck can hope for. Take it away, James.
All right, I'm going to play
At
this.
your leisure.
I'm going to play Swamp, and I'm going to pass to you. I should have said turn 1 Thoughtseize.
I'm going to play Takanuma Abandoned Mire.
Don't do it.
Pay a black. Turn 1 Dreams of Steel and Oil, James.
Okay,
Considerably worse.
That one's fine. I don't think that whiffs, right?
It doesn't
Artifacts
whiff.
entering-
I can definitely take a creature.
Oh, shoot.
Like artifacts or creatures, yeah.
Darn it. Yep.
Okay, so we got removal spell. We got another removal spell. It's also a creature. We got an annoying creature for me to deal with. We got a tutor. I don't remember what's in your Stoneforge Mystic package, but I'm not going to think too hard about it. Look at the rest of my hand here. And you do have double white.
I do not have double white.
Oh, is that a swamp over there?
This is a swamp.
Oh, it looks like a plains from across here.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a swamp.
This is really hard. I think this mana costs 2 or less, right? Unless he's kicked.
Correct.
Just want to make sure I get the cards that I think I know right, because it's embarrassing to get them wrong. This is pretty bad, because I would like to take many of these cards. I think I'm going to take Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Stoneforge Mystic is exiled, correct?
It is exiled, yes. Okay. And then go ahead.
Well, there goes that plan. Rude. I'm going to go ahead and play this Silent Clearing and pass the turn.
All right. Untap, draw.
Yeah, it looks likely that CubeCon's going to come back in 2023.
Plant Island and
so
pass.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's
Draw
great
for
to see a
turn.
bunch of you.
All right, so I know you have Censor in your deck, so I'm going to play this Hall of Heliod's Generosity. And I'm going to play this Transmogran's Crown.
Yeah. Transmogran's Crown resolves.
Yippee, pass.
Did you cut Skull Clamp, or was it never in this cube?
Yeah, I cut it specifically for Transmogran's Crown because I'm trying to kind of lower the power level.
I like that. I like that for this cube. I'm going to play an island and pass the turn.
Okay. Untap, draw. Ragavan's still in there and shouldn't be, but you know.
But isn't it? You have like a
There's
full
always
art
going to be
foil
power.
Ragavan. It's
There's
like,
always
that's
going to be a best card in the cube. You just got to make sure it's a really fun one that you enjoy playing with.
Hello, Reg Fox. I'm also here, lurking in the
All right,
invisible space.
I'm going to cast Dark Confidant.
You're going to cast Dark Confidant.
I would like to do that, yes.
That is fine.
All right, I would like to pay a life and equip Transmogran's Crown.
That's a death trigger, right?
Correct.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, I will pass the turn.
I'll petty theft the
Rude.
Dark Confidant on end step, and I'll also cycle a sensor.
Fair enough.
I'll put this over here so it's more clearly on adventure, and I'm not going to put it in my graveyard again. Untap. Draw. Play a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Pass the turn.
All right, we're going to run it back. Dark Confidant.
Resolves.
All right. Equip.
He didn't draw a card. What specifically on the bouncing of the Dark Confidant?
Yeah, it was bounced. It was not killed, so Transmogran's Crown shouldn't trigger there. It's a death trigger.
Maybe there's some other draw you forgot.
Don't think so.
Who's to know?
I mean, I'd love to have another card. But that's my turn.
Make fairy.
You got a fairy.
Untap. Draw. Attack for 3.
Ow.
Because I'm not... Well, first of all, I can't block it. Second of all, I wouldn't either. I don't really draw a bunch of... Let's let you draw cards that deal damage to you. I'll play another island and I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I have an upkeep trigger, so I will reveal the top card of my library.
I mean, that'll help recoup that life loss, though.
Yeah, sure. And then I'll draw for turn.
That was Archon of Sun's Grace for those
That-
watching.
It was painful. That's what it really was. All right. All right. Deadweight.
Deadweight resolves.
Okay.
Fairy dead.
I will go to combat and attack for 4.
Go to 16.
Past you.
I'll draw. Play a mountain.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm lucky my mana. Turns out. Question is, what am I supposed to do with my mana on this turn?
I don't think completed planeswalkers can be uncompleted. If it's Borg rules, maybe there's like a,
So I know you have Swift
that,
End in your hand.
temporary
Correct.
time, where it hasn't really taken yet.
I'm gonna play Kess.
I'm almost positive they're gonna find some way to do it. That's rude.
And I'm gonna play Dreams of Steel and Oil.
Yes. So
And
I will.
hard to imagine a world where I don't take Swift End / Murderous. Oh, Fateful Absence. Well, anyway, nice while we had it. All right. Now that I know this is dead anyway. Now I know it's dead anyway. This is an enchantment trigger, right? You have no other
Correct,
enchantments.
Constellation.
No other enchantments in your hand. You also don't have land to cast it.
Correct. Is it just artifact or creature?
Artifact or creature.
Okay, so you can't get this. Good to know.
And you still don't have double white, but you do have double black.
I do have double black, yes.
These Godzilla lands are hard to tell what they are sometimes. I looked at my own island I drew the other turn, and I was like, I think that's an island, right?
Yeah, they might come out. I was staring at my swamp doing the same thing, and that's a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, it is a lot worse for you that it's not soul partition.
I think the only way I win this game is if you just continue to not draw lands. I'm going to take Murderous Rider.
Okay.
What do you have on Earth? What am I doing? That's incredibly stupid. Hold on one sec.
All right.
Oh, it exiles it. It exiles it. That's what I was...
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it
yeah,
exiles
yeah.
it.
Oh,
That's
you're
that's
good.
correct. That's what I meant to do. Pass the turn.
Okay. So I think I still have to... I'm going to do this at the end step. I'm going to take 1 and Faithful Absence. Go to 10.
I get a clue.
You get a clue.
Who killed Kess?
Soren. All right. Upkeep trigger with Dark Confidant. Yikes.
This is how we win, chat.
All right.
No lands.
Okay.
Daddy says no lands, please.
All right, I'm gonna attack you for 4.
I go to 12.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna try and play this Maze Mind Tome,
Yeah, that's fine.
and I will pass the turn.
Can I read the Maze Mind Tome real quick?
Yes, you may.
Just so I know exactly what it does. You can tap it to scry.
Yes.
Or you can pay 2 and tap it to draw. Okay.
Correct. And then at 4 page counters, it exiles itself, and I gain 4 life.
All right.
Counts as in your graveyard.
No, it's Fateful Absence. It got exiled. No, it destroys it.
It destroyed.
How do I think it's exiled?
You're thinking of
Draw.
Encased in Stone? The other one that from the set before. Declaration in Stone.
Play an island.
Okay. Look at all that mana over there.
I'm going to very carefully tap my mana.
Okay.
To draw a card.
Not gonna let the auto tapper just do whatever over there. Is this a new jumpstart that's on Arena or the new paper packs? They're new cards people are cubing. I've been paying a lot of attention to jumpstart, obviously. Andy in the tank.
Sorry.
Gardening lands.
Trying to not mess up. Yeah, I think I gotta do this now. I'm just going. Nope, that's a different card. I read my card.
Mm-hmm. Reading the card is.
Reading the card explains
Reading the card
the
explains
card.
which card
I will
it
pass
is.
the turn.
Okay, so I'm
It
gonna
actually makes
put
my
a,
decision way easier because I don't have to think about doing a thing now.
All
I
right.
just
I'm gonna put a page counter
Just
on
play
my
my
Maze Mind
game.
Tome to scry 1.
Oh, that's a Maze Mind Tome. I'm
It-
like, what is that?
Yeah, it's
ridiculous
the
looking-
new
you
like,
already got
schematic.
the schematic foil. Look
I
at you
opened
go.
it at
Look you
pre-release.
popping off.
Nice.
I was very excited about that.
You bottomed on the scry.
I did. In my upkeep, I'm going to
Yeah, that makes sense.
do the same. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Come on, baby.
All right. Okay. Well, Dark Confidant trigger. Oh, thank God. All right.
Wow.
No damage. Get me an Urza's Saga. Draw for turn. Oh,
I didn't see it.
okay. Thank goodness.
You gain life on this 4th page counter?
I do, yes.
4 life.
Relevant part of Maze Mind Tome.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to draw a card with it this game. Just going to make sure my own Confidant doesn't kill me. All right, this will get a
Still
chapter
can't
counter.
cast either creature, which is good. Or at least the 2 creatures I know about in your hand. So.
Yeah, that's true. So the question is, what is my follow up? Some mana problems. Not how we thought this was going to go, but I think that's all right. I think I'm going to go ahead and tap 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go to combat first. I would like to go to combat.
You're in combat.
I would like to attack for 4.
I take 4.
Okay.
Go to 8.
Second main. Tap 3. Going to play this Morbid Opportunist.
That's the one that when a creature dies.
When a creature other than it dies, I draw a card. Triggers only once per turn.
You've got a Morbid Opportunist.
Awesome. I am going to pass the turn.
It's a 1/3.
It is a 1/3.
All right. I will. On your end step, I will. Is it charm? Mode is I draw 2, discard 2.
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna discard Island and Obsessive Search into Madness, and I will draw
that's neat.
again. And then I will untap.
Is Obsessive Search is exiled, correct?
No, after you cast it, it just goes to
Oh,
graveyard.
yeah,
I
you're right.
discard it
I'm
into
thinking
Madness. All right.
cards.
Untap. Draw a card. Play a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
play a Dockside Extortionist. Make 3
1,
treasures.
2, 3. Yep. That's rude.
And with that, I will pass the turn.
Okay. Beginning of my upkeep, I'm going to put a page counter on Maze Mind Tome to scry 1.
This Maze Mind Tome, I think, is saving you from dying to your own confidant.
I'm not, let's see. This of cards I've put on the bottom so far, 10 CMC worth. So,
wow.
Yeah. All right, trigger off the Dark Confidant.
So
Come on.
you you already untapped. You did it on. Yeah,
I did
you
it
tapped
during
it
my
like your
upkeep.
last turn. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It was already tapped. I remember.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's a plains. What is that?
This one's a swamp.
Okay, cool.
Wait, really?
It really looks like a plains.
The symbols are the same.
So
We've already decided that
I
this
trust
one-
you. I prefer it be a swamp too, so I'm fine with that.
Draw for turn.
Judge, do you read Japanese?
All right, trigger on my Urza Saga. It's now at chapter 2. Man. Do you mind if I take that back, the swamp I played?
I do not mind.
Okay.
Nothing else has
I
changed.
don't know if this is correct or not. All right, I'm going to go to combat.
You're in combat.
All right, I'm going to attack.
Dark
for
Confidant is a 4/1.
Correct.
It can be a lot to remember to not miss all your triggers. But
What is my path to victory in this game? What does it look
at
like?
least when we're playing, casually, it's everybody's trying to play a game of Magic correctly for the most part. Help each other out.
I'm going to pay 1 and discard an island to Lightning Axe the Morbid Opportunist.
Sure.
So far, we've played this
I'll trade.
matchup, and I played James
Okay.
with my
Trigger, I will
Esper
draw a
Artifact
card
deck.
off of the Transmogrant's Crown. Okay. Play a Plains. So I think that means I'm skipping out. Am I skipping out on activating this Urza Saga? I think I am. I'm going to pay 1 black to unearth my Morbid Opportunist.
That's fine.
I can't remember if this was this game or last game, but the censor, has it been cycled?
Censor is cycled.
Okay.
No more censor.
All right. I will take a damage to try and cast my Archon of Sun's Grace.
I'll syncopate it for 4.
Exiled. And then I will pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. Baffle Strix.
You got it.
Trigger.
Yep.
Draw.
Meat computers are not for math.
Play an island.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. So, question is, do I want to scry again for my draw? I think I do. Because pretty sure I already know what I'm going to do with my mana, or have an idea at least. All right, I'm going to put that one on the bottom. Draw for turn. All right, there's a Saga trigger on the stack. I think I'm going to make a construct token. Sack this.
Yeah, Maze My Tome gains 4 life. It's 4, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's 4, yeah. Pretty relevant.
All right, I'm going to get a Chrome Mox,
Sure.
imprinting a Thraben Inspector.
Mm-hmm.
Always be Thraben.
All right, I'll take 1
I got it. You're going to 9.
to cast a Ranger Captain of Eos. Trigger. Get a Walking Ballista.
Yeah, that resolves. You didn't really give me a chance, but it's fine.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Someone's pretty confident I don't have counter magic.
Oh, I took the... Oh, no. Oh, no.
You named the card. You failed to find it.
All right, I'm disqualified from the DCI.
Do you have nothing to find? Because you don't have to name it.
Yeah, I have nothing. Failed to find.
Okay, cool.
Listen, I'm not fooling anyone here. All right, well, with my plans thoroughly dashed upon the rocks, I guess I'll pass the turn.
I did exile Murderous Rider. You did cast Fateful Absence this game on Kess.
Correct.
I don't know of any other removal in your hand, right?
You do.
I do.
Yes.
Can you give me a hint as to which one?
gotta
Blood
show
Chief
it
Source.
to-
That's right.
You do know about something.
All right. I'll untap. I'll draw.
That's a lot of mana.
Shark
Uh-oh.
Typhoon.
Hey, here it is.
That's what I was kind of afraid of.
Coalition Relic. Make
Yep.
a 3/3 shark.
You got it.
Now, if you're going to Transmogren's Crown up something next turn, if I kill it with...
I'm wearing a slightly bluish gray shirt.
If I kill it with Faithful Strix, you get to draw a card. I feel like cards are irrelevant at this point in the game. My clock doesn't change a whole lot. You have no life gain. Pass the turn.
Okay, I'm going to up-tap, and during my upkeep, I'm going to activate Hall of Heliod's Generosity to put an enchantment on top of my library. I'm going to put Deadweight
He's doing it, chat.
on top. I'll draw that for my turn. We're going to do that slightly different. Draw for turn. I guess it doesn't matter. I've got oodles of lands in my hand. All right. All right. We will deadweight the Baleful Strix.
Trigger. You draw a card.
Oh, thank you so much. Draw a card. We'll put Transmogrant's Crown. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll put it here, and we'll...
Construct's a 3/3.
Construct is a 3/3 right now. We'll come in for 6.
And Ranger's a 5/3.
Correct.
So you're coming in for 8.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot the Transmogrant's Crown. Yeah, coming in for 8.
I'll block the Ranger.
Okay.
I take 3, the trade, you draw another card.
All right, I will pass the turn.
I'll put a charge counter on my Coalition Relic. Untap. Draw. First main phase, I'll make a red mana. How many cards in your library, James?
That's always a scary question.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, as I count them.
We're going to see a Shelldock Isle here?
Yeah, I don't know what...
I will pass the turn. I get no mana off my charge counter.
Like, I built this cube, and I have no idea what that could mean.
Ask you a very specific question, say go. That's some real
All right,
intimidation tactic there.
Intriguing. Intriguing.
Just going to lay out my ultimatum mana.
All right. I'm going to activate Hall of Heliod's Generosity to put Urza Saga on top of my library. I'll draw that for
wow.
turn.
You're doing it.
All right, I'll play that as my land for the turn.
Mm-hmm.
I will suit up my Morbid Opportunist. This has got 1 chapter counter on it, and I'll go to combat.
Construct still a 3/3.
Construct is still a 3/3.
Sure, you're in combat.
Attacking for 6. This is terrifying.
Prismari command.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy target artifact. And 2 damage to you.
Okay.
And I make a shark, which I will promptly trade with your Morbid Opportunist.
Okay. So I will draw 2 cards, 1 for the Construct dying from the Morbid Opportunist, and then 1 for the Transmogran's Crown.
Yeah, you draw first for the... Yeah, just the order, because, damn it, yeah.
Okay.
If that happens before blocks, you could draw the first one off of the Opportunist trigger and the second one off of the Crown trigger.
Yes.
True. Could be relevant.
That's true. It was not. All right, I'll go to my second main phase.
Did I miss you lost another life somewhere?
Did I?
You just lost 2 from...
Did I lose 2 from? I don't think so.
You just lost 2 from Prismari command.
Oh, yes.
You're at 6.
Okay, I think I just typed wrong.
Okay. I'm going to play this Chromatic Star. I don't have any more 1-drop, so I don't feel the need to crack this right now. So I will pass the turn.
Charge counter on my Coalition Relic.
Yep.
Untap. Draw a card.
Wow, you're getting roasted for not destroying the crown.
Yeah, because cards is how I'm going to beat James. Here's what we're going to do, James.
Okay.
We're going to do some stuff.
Oh, please.
I'm going to play K command, and I'm
Oh.
going to destroy the crown and return Kess to my hand.
That's pretty spicy. Are you happy now?
That's so rude. Yeah, you got it.
I also make a 3/3 shark.
Yes, you do.
I guess I'll use the mana from Coalition Relic. I made a color. Do you care? I made a color. I forgot to name which color I made.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
matter. I don't.
Say I made a red.
That.
I'll play Kess.
Yep.
And then before passing priority, I will cast K command.
Hell yeah.
And this time I will destroy your Chrome Mox and return Brazen Bar to my hand. No, Baleful Strix to my hand. I get Baleful Strix back instead.
Okay.
I want Baleful Strix. I get to make another 3/3 shark.
It's a lot of sharks. Technically, these are not +1/+1 counters, but
Oh, they're not, right? They just says power and toughness.
Yeah.
Well, I'll use the other counters and make that more clear. I don't know if it's going to come up, but we'll do it. Then I'm going to cast Baleful Strix with this and one of my treasures.
Why the fuck did you ask how many cards are in my library?
To be totally honest, I was wondering if my strategy was going to be to attempt to mill you out.
I see.
but you,
And
you can't really with Hall of Heliod's generosity.
That is true. That's a good point. Was I thinking about that? No, I was not.
Magic is complicated.
I
There's
mean,
a
I would
lot
need
going
a
on.
target to cast.
That's
Yeah, it's fair, though.
true.
Pass the turn,
All
James.
right, I'm going to crack this. Do I need... No. I'm going to crack this because I might need the mana instead of the mana fixing. So to
This
draw
K
a
command is
card.
exiled now.
Oh. Look at my empire. See how she burns. Draw for turn.
You can have it all. My empire of dirt.
All right, this gets a trigger on it.
This is Andy's rendition of Johnny Cash's rendition of Nine Inch
Hey,
Nails.
that could have been my Trent Reznor impression. You don't know.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Wow, we lost a lot of viewers really quick.
All right, I'm going to make a construct token. I think I'm just dead, but, I'll make you do the math. The very, very easy math.
I have 10 power in the air.
I'll
Math is
maul
for the guy
my
with
construct.
10
Oh, just
sharks
have
in there.
lifelink, so that's something.
No. First strike.
Just first strike and flying?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. And then I'll play a swamp and Bloodtree's Thirst, a shark.
Shark goes poof.
Okay, so this is a 4/4 first strike flyer.
Sounds
and
good.
Past you.
I'll untap.
Just like easily rip off another removal
I'll
spell.
draw.
Oh yeah, of course.
Fiery temper that. What's a 4/4 you said?
It's a 4/4. You've got Prismari Command.
Yeah, I'll do all the removal spells, and then I'll attack for lethal.
All right.
Yeah. Woo! We got there, chat. Really didn't think it was gonna work out for me, but
yeah,
you really stumbled on mana there pretty hard.
Stumbled on mana, and then I think I had to put a lot of impactful spells in the bottom of my library through the Confidant Clock
because you just needed to not
to draw the mana.
Well, also, I mean, you needed lands, so you gotta bottom the stuff that's not lands at that point, no matter what. You can hit stop recording, Anthony, but not stop streaming.